Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am D.
I am Lish.
And this is
Allow It.
Lovely to have you back this week, guys. I hope you
Yes.
enjoyed last week's episode. Can I talk today?
I don't even know.
Take two.
No. Take two. It is cold. The weather just
It's just slightly
it's
changed.
switched. It's switched
Exactly.
up on us.
Yeah. Talking about that,
I'm
I like
prepared.
your biker chic look.
Oh,
situation
thank you.
Going on. Yes,
Thanks.
it's very cute. So, you gonna tell us what you're wearing today?
all black.
Yes, because
Yes.
all black season has started.
All black season has started. Indeed.
Exactly. I'm wearing this Hollister jumper and a pair of jeans because, like I said, it's cold today. This is nice and cozy. And like I was talking to you about how the girls are really into Hollister at the moment.
Yeah.
And how their
Hollister made a
sizing,
comeback.
they've made a comeback, and their sizing range has also changed quite a lot, quite significantly. I think they even have a curve range now as well.
Oh, okay.
So that could not have happened back in the day.
Oh, probably you're right. Because I think so. I believe Abercrombie owns Hollister.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they maybe
and
did the switch up
Abercrombie
because
has
of
a
that.
curve range
Yeah.
as well. so-
Remember the Hollister days where the boys used to be standing outside of the store with no t-shirts on?
That was Abercrombie.
Oh, was that Abercrombie?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I always think it's the
Yeah.
same, because their stores are always dark.
Hollister was definitely very dark. It was
Yeah,
like a little
exactly.
cabin and you walked in. Yeah. It was dark.
It's always so dark in
Yeah,
there, but
yeah.
it also smells amazing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that someone has said as well, that their in-house fragrances,
Yeah.
apparently they've also stepped the game up. So
Oh,
they're like on
okay.
a Zara type of wavelength, if that makes sense. So the notes from really expensive
Oods,
perfumes
yeah.
or whatever it may be, like the YSLs, they've done sort of dupes in their own respect. So they've done that, the Magellas and all of that stuff. So possibly that might be like one of those, what is it called? Just a day fragrance for the day. I'm going to check it
Yeah.
out when I go into store next
I'm
time.
going to check it out as
Yeah,
well.
I haven't been in one of those stores since
Since
I
I
can't
was a
even think of
teenager,
it.
I haven't been
really?
in Hollister.
You just passed by it. There's one.
I just
in
walk right
Westfield.
by it. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go in there and see what happens. We'll see if they've kicked up their diversity in terms of their employees. We'll see what happens, because I remember it was
Apparently, I mean, where I grew up, there was always a token black girl.
okay, just the one.
Yeah,
with
the
the bad
really
weave.
bad weave.
Yeah.
With
see.
the leave out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so they're diverse in terms of their sizing. We'll see if they're diverse in terms of their employees. And if
We
they
shall
are, it might be
see.
a winning store. We'll never know. I
Watch
might be
this
converted.
I think they are. I think they've a lot of brands have stepped up the game.
They have stepped
Yeah.
up their game. Indeed. Stepped up the game, indeed. What do you want
Yeah.
to talk about this week, Lish?
What are we talking about? Rejection.
We are talking about
Rejection.
Rejection is very close to my heart.
Rejection.
No pun intended.
That
No.
feeling of rejection is
No pun intended. How are you with Oh, shall we just go into the threads first, and then we talk about how we are with rejection in between?
Let's do that.
Do you want to start off with yours? Because I've got a thread too.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So I came across this thread on the Shade Room actually.
Okay.
And
love a bit of shady tea.
oh, we love a little bit of shade.
Yeah.
And it was a thread on I guess on X, I don't know, about people telling their stories about how they realized they hated their partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh,
Let's
when
hear
they
a few.
realized. So one of them, I was almost 36 weeks pregnant
Yep.
when I almost collapsed trying to do laundry by myself. He finished work and went to football practice instead of checking on me. But a week earlier, he came home early from work because our dog ate chocolate and he was worried.
He was more worried
Yeah.
about the animal that does not speak.
That does not speak.
Than you, and your
The one
future
that's-
child.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's carrying your child.
That's ludicrous.
It's like, wow.
That's ludicrous. And what's the name of the thread again? When you realize that your partner hated.
Stories about when you realize you hated your partner.
You hated your partner.
Yeah.
At this point, I think the story it should be the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
When you find out your partner
hated you.
Because
that
sounds
one right
like
there.
someone
Yeah,
hates you.
definitely.
Yeah. That sounds like someone definitely hates
He
you
wasn't
at that
checking for
point.
you, girl.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was
What's
like,
next?
wow, that's wild.
What's next? Oh, my chest.
This one, I felt gross every time he would kiss me.
She got the ick.
She got the ick.
Ugh.
Have you ever dated someone and after a while you got the ick from them?
It's such a weird feeling because you like that person
Yeah.
and you've been with them for maybe a while or even just a short period of time, but during that time there's been lust involved, so you're like all over them at the beginning,
Exactly.
and then all of a sudden you just like you want no part. That's when during my dating days that happened often.
Same.
And obviously it turns out I obviously had commitment issues and I couldn't bypass certain things. I'm just like, ugh, I don't want you
after a while
touch
it's like,
me anymore.
it's just too much.
Also, not just that, I think a lot of people just narrow down their experience to just like the sexual aspect of it, but also just the things that they do, they say. Like sometimes even the way they breathe, you're like, can you stop breathing?
That's when you're definitely over it, when the person's breathing is bothering you. That is a
the
problem.
way they eat, just things like that, or the way they speak on the phone, or you're trying to have a conversation and the intellect is just not there. So a lot of the times that's happened to me. Whereas possibly the other aspect is still on fire, still hip and happening, and then that's happening, and I'm like, that's how I realized I will end up tapping out with that as well. So you might as well just cut it off.
I think that definitely outweighs the two. I dated I had like a summer fling once with this Spanish guy, and he spoke like a lick of English.
He spoke, hello, take your clothes off.
Hola, basically. So whenever we would go on dates, we would go to like Spanish restaurants and stuff so he could speak like comfortably to the servers and things like that. But he was super into PDA.
Okay,
which is, if you know me, you know I'm not affectionate. I do not like PDA.
Zero. She can't stand it. I have to tussle for a hug.
No.
Like once every 6 months. Maybe brought on by tears. I've got to pretend like I'm crying in order for me to get a hug.
You gotta be going through it, like, cause it's like, boy, I like my personal space.
When you know that you're traveling.
We're not gonna see each other for a while. Then
that's
it's
when you'll be like, okay, then
it's
fine.
okay. Yeah, I could do a little tap. But this guy, so even when we went out to eat, you know how sometimes you'll have like the chairs from across you. He would sit next to me, like move the chair to sit right next to me.
Oh gosh.
He would, if we're walking, he wants to hold my hand
the whole time.
We're on the subway. He wants to basically sit right on top of me. Like I was just like, you know what? And that was the only problem. He was actually a really nice guy.
It's just that,
and we couldn't really argue because we don't speak the same language anyway.
What did you guys do? Google Translate?
Yeah.
No way.
I remember I had my little my Google phone. And I'll go on Google Translate and type everything.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm here for it though, because like you said, the less arguments.
Basically,
the better. Really,
It's the language of love.
Yeah,
but
the language of love.
There was too
indeed.
much love. It was too much. I was like, I can't take this anymore.
I wonder where he is now.
I know.
Did you explain to him to say, oh, this is the reason why I'm ghosting you?
Just like, I just ghosted.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, there's 2 guys I actually ghosted. His name was Robin. And then another one, Green-Eyed Carrington. Carrie. Who knows
Hey, Carrie.
Who knows what happened to Carrie? Carrie was a beautiful man.
Yeah, again, PDA
in
issue?
all aspects. It wasn't a PDA issue. It was another issue.
Okay.
This is for
another episode.
This is for another episode. This was for another episode. Let's just say I couldn't handle Carrie. I was still very young.
Take that as you may.
And take it as you may. So I just needed to come up with a reason to be like,
you know what?
This ain't gonna work for me. I can't take all of this in.
No, you're sending me midweek. Oh,
I can't take all of this in.
Take it easy.
So,
don't kill me, please.
Yeah, shout out to Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Yes, I hope you're living a beautiful life.
I hope so too.
A big, beautiful life.
If you know what I am, DM me.
Wow, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. I have more experience.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the next one on the thread?
Okay, yeah. The next one is when I couldn't stop cheating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had that moment?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where and I was cheating without even caring.
Not even
Like not
even trying to hide it.
Yeah, not even trying to hide, not deleting no messages, no nothing. Like I was just free out there just doing whatever I want, frivolous with it. It's
like,
just not
who cares?
Nobody cares. I'll be like, honestly, he would call me, I'll be like, hi, yeah, and the other one would be right next to me. Couldn't care less.
Yikes.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah. When you're done, you're done.
When you're over it, you're over it.
You're over it.
It's so weird because us as humans, it's just like, so let that other person go. Why are you bothering? I guess because I also knew that he was cheating too.
So it's like,
but it was just toxic behavior, just young. So
you guys are just out here cheating on each other.
Yeah, cheating on each other,
acting up.
Of course, as you should, in your early 20s.
Yeah, why not? Okay, this one. I had to get a simple surgery done, put under anesthesia and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Afterwards, he complained about how he hates being in hospitals. Sped home, hitting every bump, which hurt the fuck out of me. I wasn't supposed to be left alone, but went to New York, and he left me with our 3-year-old at the time.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, he hates you.
At that point, you were a liability to him.
Yeah.
He's like, come on.
Girl.
He wanted to stay in New York.
You think she got a BBL?
There's one I think that I saw.
Just thinking about the bumps that hurt her.
There's one that I saw actually because I was thinking I think it's a BBL because one of them when I was reading it said something along the lines of I was in the bed bleeding out after surgery and the bed sheets were like that for 2 days. Apparently the ones that she went into were dirty, so he didn't change the bed sheets after he picked her up from surgery. She was bleeding from this surgery. He didn't change her bandages, no post aftercare situation whatsoever, and he wasn't helping, and they had a child there as well too. Apparently the child was like 18 months old. So this is crazy because some people will say, okay, I'm not doing the surgery for my partner you just had a baby like 18 months ago. You've none gone and had a mummy makeover, a BBL, or let's say lipo or a tummy tuck or whatever you went and got and done. Yeah. And I say, each to their own. But at the end of the day, you're doing it for these dumbos who are not even going to help you while you're recovering.
Exactly.
Which doesn't make any sense because what is the point of getting all of that stuff done for someone who's going to walk away anyway? He couldn't care less. And I was like, girl,
he'll be all
why
over
did you
once
bother?
you've healed
of
and
course,
you're ready
exactly.
to hit the streets.
Yeah, and once you start taking pictures and everything is flat.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're his again. But during the process of that's how you really know he hated you, girl.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Even if you change yourself, he still hates you.
Exactly. This one right here sends me because I feel like we've all had this moment. Mm-hmm. His phone was broken, so I hadn't talked to him all day. He finally called, and I was so upset to see his name pop up on my screen. That was the beginning of the end for me. Like, yeah.
And I'm sure because they say women, we actually, before we're done, we're already done.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know why. Why do we drag it on?
I don't know. I think it's just easy, I guess.
It's just easier to just drag it on.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense because normally with women, they'll be like, yeah, it was over years ago. So girl, why didn't you leave years ago? Or it was over, or why didn't you dump them or leave them? Whatever it may be situation. It's just like, oh, it was over 6 months ago. I just told him now. It's just like, okay then, girl.
It's
Whereas with men, it's more of an instant thing. It's like, oh, she's done this today.
Yeah.
I'm done with her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think
it's not premeditated.
Yeah, I think men also are just like, they're just lazy.
Yeah, extremely.
Or they'll do everything to make the woman just
leave them instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that he doesn't have to put in the work of dumping someone.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Makes sense indeed. Any more, or you?
I think that's it. I think I'm done. But yeah, you get the gist of it all.
Exactly.
If little things start annoying you about your significant other,
please just keep it a stepping.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
You can't blame it on that time of the month all the time.
Hint.
You cannot blame
You
it.
can't blame it on a bad day every single
Exactly,
time. Because out here,
no.
the issue is like I think people are also scared of the streets at the moment because everyone is like, okay, although the streets are calling, the
Oh my
streets are also
gosh.
the sewer. So no one wants to actually step out of their relationships because they're too scared to see what's out there. And what's key is that I think the issue is that people are wanting to step out to go find someone else straight away. And it's like, no, you're supposed to step out of where you've left
Yeah, exactly.
to go and make yourself whole and complete again and then start something new. So there's a lot of people in the sewer because they've left these relationships broken, got trauma issues, all of that stuff. They're not fixing themselves. All they're doing is just going to download an app and trying to find
I think
someone
it's like
2 minutes later.
I think if you do take that step and you do leave your significant other or whatnot, I would think, okay, that's the time for you to kind of just reflect on yourself and take time for yourself.
Yeah,
because then again, once again, you're giving your energy to someone else all over again, and then you're starting that vicious cycle. However, if you do meet that person, because you know they do say your current could be blocking your future.
Very true. Oh my goodness.
If you meet your future, then it's fine. I always say, well, Dion always says too, it shouldn't be complicated.
No.
If it's easy, that means like, yeah, that's it.
Anything that's too hard is not right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes with everything in your life. Anything that's too difficult, too hard, that's when you know, done.
Yeah.
I was thinking, actually, all of our elders would be like, these girls are such prostitutes.
Oh my God.
All they do is tell people to leave.
Not to leave.
Tell people to leave their relationships, to do this, to leave, please. Like I always say, well, now we've always started saying it. Listen to us,
but don't listen to us. We ain't telling you to prepare for the streets, girl.
No, don't do that because we're not in the streets. Yeah, so we can't be out here. Please, we can't be here advising anybody otherwise.
To me, yeah.
Exactly. Next thing you know, we'll be getting a DM to say, now my rent is due.
Basically, are you guys gonna pay
for it?
So.
Exactly. Are you guys gonna pay for it? Exactly, which is not gonna happen. I've got a thread of my own. So I've got a thread which recently people have been talking about their experiences with HR and recruitment. So this young lady said, my recent experiences, I went through 4 interviews and they said that I was such a strong candidate that I didn't need to do the presentation. The HR lead invited me to speak to VP of sales. The convo went well. He said that they'll give me a call about the final rounds. 2 weeks later, I got an email from the HR lead that that said that they went with another candidate. 6 weeks later, I got a message in LinkedIn saying they would like to speak to me about the same job that I interviewed for. When I responded saying we've already been in talks for the role, she never responded.
She never came back.
I'm so confused because there's no way this HR person couldn't have remembered these conversations with this, like their first name, last name is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Is it not in your folder?
Yeah, she's obviously not doing her job properly. She's not doing her job properly at all, because that's wild. I even remember letting one girl go. And then I was looking for somebody again, and I saw that she
she reapplied?
Yeah, I saw that she reapplied, and I was just like, what?
Maybe you'd reconsider
I'm not that HR girl. I got receipts.
You got her emails flagged.
I got receipts.
Receipts, indeed.
I was like, this person looks very familiar.
I don't think I've actually reapplied for another role that I've been rejected for. That would be very interesting to say.
I've never.
And in terms of recruiting people, I definitely think I would remember someone that I've had 4 rounds of interviews with.
Yeah, no.
That's diabolical.
And I get butthurt. Like I've had 2 job interviews.
You get very butthurt.
That I've done that for, like presentation to the CEO and all of that, and I didn't get the job. Oh, I was pissed.
Yeah, of course.
I'm boycotting you.
Yeah. You and your brand.
Exactly. I don't like rejection at all.
Doesn't make any sense. Another person said similar thing happened to me. A company said that they were urgently looking for a tech, and I thought it would be a shoe in my 15-year experience. What does that mean? What's a shoe?
A shoe?
Yeah.
Like a
Does
shoe?
it stand for something? Weird.
Shoe?
Yeah.
Maybe maybe like the
Oh, the
perfect
shoe
fit.
fits?
The perfect fit. Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't know people.
I didn't
say,
know
like,
people
a
say
shoe.
it like that.
Okay.
I don't know. If you say it like that, please say that in the comments because I've never heard of that before. I thought it would be a shoe in my 15-year experience. And 3 different recruiters referred me to the same job posting after a weird company rejected me and then have the audacity to repost the same position at a higher rate. And I was fine with their first rate. That would have been enough. They did me a favor and I don't need to work for a company who doesn't value me. You see how people are always offering, especially these HR people and these companies, unfortunately, they're always offering something on the table, but what they've put in as an offer, you end up finding out that's not what the person that actually ended up getting the role got. Why? Because people are not asking for the amount of money that they deserve. And it's such a terrible stigma, especially in this country, that money is not talked about.
Yeah.
We need to speak on money a lot. We need to speak on money all the time. That's what we use to live off.
Yeah.
And if you can't speak to the company that is supposed to be your future 10-year job, your future 5-year job, what makes you think that you'll be able to discuss it once you're in the role?
Yeah. I think it is important to say, to speak about what you want. I mean, but also recruiting agencies, it's more about themselves because remember, they get a percentage on the salary and on the hire. So I think with recruiting agencies as well, sometimes they're just all over the place. I've gotten contacted many times for jobs that I don't even have any experience in. They don't align with my resume at all.
Shoe?
Yeah, the shoe doesn't fit. So I'm like, okay, you're sending me this job. So what, you want me to go and look crazy? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just weird. But then what if on a whim you just ended up hired? That would be also strange
that would be very strange.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have a little
that would be a cipher for desperation.
And someone that
they need to fill the role.
Exactly. As someone that obviously hires and fires people.
I'm like, who's she talking about?
You? Do you find it like when someone asks you for a higher salary, either at the point of interview or maybe 6 months down the line when they've realized actually that the work at hand, they deserve more than what? Do you find that as an uncomfortable conversation? Do you advocate for it? What are your thoughts?
No, I don't feel like it's uncomfortable. I mean, I do advocate for it, especially if I feel like the person is putting in the work and doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah, 100%. But also, too, I could only do my part, and I don't own the business.
Yeah, you don't.
So I could.
Not your father's business.
Exactly. I could only do so much.
Yeah.
But definitely, when the possibility is there, I definitely advocate for the people that work for me.
I think maybe when I was in other roles, I wouldn't advocate for myself to get paid higher. It's only something that has come into like my thought process within my professional life later on in life, because I'm like, okay, I know this is what I can bring to the table.
Yeah.
So therefore I know I deserve more.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's up to companies, like you say, to actually advocate for the employees. But also at the end of the day, they're looking out for themselves. And they know that there's people out there who do the same job as you. And even maybe 10 times more for 10 times less.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's why they call it the rat race.
That's true. I guess what is it, like the Gen Zs have kind of changed that a bit.
They have. They're like, okay, fine, F your job then.
Yeah.
Also, this is the other reason why they're still at their mum's house constantly.
This is true.
Which is, with our generations, it was very much, I'm getting my job and I'm getting out.
Yeah. So you're just going to do whatever you need to do to hustle. So yeah.
The Gen Zs are like, it's fine, I'll go back to my mum's house.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and then I'll sort myself out.
My room's still there.
Exactly. Cam, don't you dare. Your room will be gone. As soon as you get that national insurance number.
Oh my God.
That room is going to be painted over. For one of the twins to move in.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Because they've got quite a significant age gap.
Oh
so
yeah,
he's
exactly.
Gonna leave the home, I'm sure, Obviously a lot earlier than the boys.
Yeah,
Unless he takes the
I'm
boys
hoping
with him.
I'm hoping Layla's like me. Spread your wings and
Spread
fly.
your wings and fly away. Travel, enjoy the world.
Fly.
Exactly.
So.
Leave London if you don't want to travel the world. Go somewhere else. Go experience and then come back.
Exactly. We shall see.
We shall see indeed.
We shall see.
Yeah. Another person, just one last one just to add, because obviously it's clear. It's a huge thread, by the way, so I'm not even doing bits. It's clear that companies and HRs are basically getting away with this everywhere we go. And one said, HR sucks nowadays. I had 2 rounds of interviews with a prestigious Ivy League uni for a leadership role. They conducted the background check and contacted my references. When I received an email that my background check was complete, I waited a few days because I hadn't heard back. So I reached out via email asking for an update. Nothing. A few days later, I left a voicemail, still nothing. Is it normal to ghost a candidate so far into the process? Have you gotten to, I don't know, 2 interviews, 3 interviews down and all of a sudden silence?
No.
Like you've had to contact them to say any updates?
Oh, wait. I had one like that. Yeah.
It's always so disheartening because it's just like, am I not even memorable?
And then she was like, "Oh, it was between you and another person, and we decided
tell
to go."
Me that.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, actually, I asked for feedback, and she was like, "No, everything was perfect. Your presentation was perfect.
Say everything was perfect.
It was just you and another person.
Basically, it's you. We don't like you."
That's what I thought too.
Honestly, basically it's just like we didn't vibe
you're
with you.
You're a hater.
Because you're saying you were perfect in the interview. You're saying your experience is what we need within this brand. You're saying you brought everything to the table except for the vibes.
Basically.
Yeah, except for the vibes.
Basically,
so they're out here. Well, of course, when we used to work in fashion, that was a huge thing. Like you would have experience, but if your vibes they're not vibing with them, that's it. Or your look is not giving what they think that it's gonna give, then definitely not. So yeah, your earring's coming out. Let me say it. Oh.
Did it come out?
Yeah, it's there. Get it. See? A runaway earring. At least I said something this time. When I had my earring out, girl.
First and foremost,
you didn't see it.
It was on the other side of your face, which I cannot see. Look at this. How am I gonna see?
I move my head all the time.
No, you don't. No, you do not.
Let's not tussle like Joshua the other day. Anthony Joshua, man, he got knocked out.
Poor guy. I didn't see.
Since we're talking about rejection in general.
Damn.
Yeah, all I saw was the images. He works so hard. But he's such a humble sports person, and he's not a sore loser at all. So his interview afterwards was also really like sweet, because it's like, I worked hard, but I didn't work hard enough.
It is what it is.
Exactly. I worked hard, but I didn't work hard enough. And I'm gonna move on to the next match, being a better participant, or the better man who's gonna be the better man that's gonna win. So I always appreciate that when that happens. I was gonna speak on rejection and how you handle it. I know you just said you're salty as hell.
I am salty. I mean, I haven't been rejected by a man.
Okay.
So I don't know what
that would feel like. So you're one of those girls. A man has never dumped me. I've never been dumped.
I just even knocked. I even knocked on wood. Not one of those girls. It could happen to anybody. I haven't been dumped. Who knows? I've probably been in situations where the guys annoyed me so much because he wanted me to do the dumping.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Possibly that might be a case.
Yeah.
I think I've seen someone not in the process, but I've seen someone's eyes change and I dump them first.
Yeah. So
like I clock certain things and I'm like, okay, you're really not for me.
Yeah,
I don't think you actually want me. So instead of continuing to pursue it, I just go. And then they find it very hard because, of course, they weren't ready for you to be the one that kind of locks it off. Yeah, but then it's like, what do you want? Yeah, it's just like, what is it that you want then? Because you didn't. It was clear that you didn't want me. Yeah. So I just basically just put it into play and we just all move on in silence. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I don't have any exes anyway. So there's no evidence. Once that's done with the situation. That's it. That's really it for me. There's no past. And I'm so happy because I've actually never seen any of these people thereafter. I've seen maybe a couple. here and there, but it's never been awkward for me.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because obviously I knew it was done with. Once it's done with, that's it.
That's
I'm
it.
not.
That's it.
I'm not. I'm super into it at the moment, but then when it's over with, it's over with. Yeah, I kinda. When it comes to like rejection in terms of like career wise or in any other aspect where you've just applied for something or are rooting for something and it just hasn't come through, I used to be extremely emotional about those situations. Like it would take over me, and most probably it would take like months for me to get over something.
Which is wild because you have no problem getting a job.
I don't have any problem getting a job.
Keep a job D.
Keep a job D is my middle name. So I guess in like the other aspects.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes in my career, I've maybe tried to aim a little higher.
Okay.
And then I've been brought back down to say, girl.
I got that.
That's where I'm at. Or in terms of just applying for anything else that I don't know that I want to do, that I want to look into, and then you just get that rejection. Like I said, I used to be that person, but as I've progressed within myself, and of course my relationship with God as well, I've noticed every single time I've been rejected for something, it's actually because there's something way better coming.
Yep.
Like way
because
better
that means
coming.
what you wanted wasn't for you.
It wasn't for me. So now rejection for me is actually a time to rejoice, which is weird, or a time to just know that what's for you is coming very soon.
Exactly.
You just need to hold off a
Patience.
little bit.
Patience is a virtue.
Exactly, because delay is not denial.
Exactly.
Delay is not denial. You'll sit, and most probably sometimes you need to pivot and go in a different direction, and maybe that wasn't where you were supposed to be. It's just there's different reasons for certain things, but yeah, you'll get there, girls.
Yeah, I'd say rejoice in the rejection.
Rejoice in rejection.
Let's take that word back.
Exactly. Yeah. Rejoice in rejection. Is there anything else you want to cover this week?
No, that's it. That's it.
It. You've been real as always, guys. We love you for it. Make sure to subscribe, to share, to repost.
Watch those videos.
Everything and above. If you missed the one last week and the one before that and the one before that, please make sure to watch them.
It's getting cold out here.
It is.
Cozy up.
Exactly.
With YouTube.
Heavy on the
allow it
Tuesdays.
Yes. Allow it. It's fine. Allow it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7 days a week.
Exactly. On that note, my name is D.
I am Lish.
And this has been Allow It.
Bye.
Bye, guys.